Good afternoon, my friends. Got an early bird for you today. It's good to see you. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's got a nice past the hump of the week and headed towards the weekend. So what we've got right now is a new filing by the defense, two new filings actually, both very related. Now we're going to go over that first, but we're also going to go over a couple of other things. I know that Michael Proctor's family has released a statement on his behalf, which I tweeted about. I reacted to it and tweeted immediately as soon as I saw it. And yeah, we're gonna go over that. And I saw somebody say something in the chat about a new taillight video. I don't know anything about that. If it happens to come up, I come across it, we'll go over that too, if it's of any significance or even worth it. Yeah, so as soon as I got this, I figured I would go live, hang out with you guys a little bit. The rest of my afternoon is going to be pretty full, so I figured this would be the best time to do it. So okay, yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I see you guys are like, you got to watch it. Okay, I don't know what it is though. So, yeah, everybody find the video, watch it. I watched it. I don't know what it is, and I don't know where to tell you to go find it, but I watched it. That's what you guys sound like to me in the chat. Yeah, that video, the video that I clicked on and watched, that I don't know where to find. You gotta watch it, Glare. It's out there somewhere. I saw it. So we're gonna go over this motion. So the first one is let's see. Let me just pull it up here. Boozy. Yeah, I got it. Boozy Beauty. Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, my friends. Thank you. Appreciate it. What video? Look, Linda's like, what video? Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me. Here we go. All right, so we've got Commonwealth of Massachusetts defendant's motion for reconsideration of the March 6, 2025 court order denying defendant's motion to exclude the testimony of Commonwealth's witness James W. Crosby, MS, PhD. Now, this is that dude. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, if you've been living in a cave, this David Crosby guy is the Commonwealth's so-called dog bite expert. But the problem is that he doesn't know anything about dog bites or dogs, really. Like not medically anyway. He doesn't know anything about dog bite wounds. He basically knows dick, nothing. So the defense is basically the defense has filed a motion to exclude him because why the fuck is he even here? But Bev let him in for whatever reason, even though she voideered the fuck out of Dr. Russell, even though she was beyond qualified, and made her travel and sit in there and get abused by by Brennan for 2 days. It was really gross, actually. And but Crosby, he's the biting dog whisperer, and so he's qualified apparently. Good to know. So we're gonna go ahead and read this, because following this is actually an affidavit from Robert Alessi, which is why I got the names confused, because dude's on my mind. Robert Alessi wrote an affidavit that an after David that goes hand in hand with this. So now comes the defendant, Karen Reed. Oh, look, somebody sent me. Okay, thank you for sending me the video. Chris, thank you for that. Now comes the defendant, Karen Reed, Ms. Reed, or defendant, and respectfully request that the court reconsider its March 6, 2025 court order, March 6 order denying defendant's motion to exclude the testimony of Commonwealth's witness, James. I kept saying David. Why did I say David Crosby? Why did I keep saying David Crosby? Jesus Christ. James Crosby and Dr. Crosby. And after such reconsideration, defendant requests that the court exclude the entirety of the proffered testimony of Dr. Crosby in the alternative and at the minimum. Defendant requests an evidentiary hearing to determine whether the Commonwealth can meet its own burden to satisfy the requirements of Daubert-Lanigan as regards to Dr. Crosby. So basically what they're saying here is that they want Bev to at least hold an evidentiary hearing to determine whether he's qualified or not. Like, you're just going to say that he's qualified? So the defense could complete its questioning of Dr. Crosby in approximately half a day of any hearing. So we're saying, so here the defense is going, yeah, man, like, all we're asking, at least, like, exclude the fucking guy because we don't think he's qualified. And if you are so sure that he's qualified and we are standing steadfast that he's not qualified, then at least hold an evidentiary hearing where we can question the guy and determine once and for all whether or not he's qualified. Pretty simple, you'd think. And they're like, we could do it in 30 minutes, bro. Well, no, not 30 minutes. In half a day. We could do it. The shit starts from 9 to 4. Bro, we can do it in 4 hours. We'll have that shit ready before lunch. We'll be done before lunch. That's how easy this is. In denying defendant's motion to exclude the proffered testimony of Dr. Crosby, the court stated in its March 6 order that the Commonwealth has satisfied the fundamental requirements of Daubert-Lanigan. Really? The evidence will assist the jury. Dr. Crosby is an expert in dog bite wounds. Sorry, hold on a second. The evidence will assist the jury. Dr. Crosby is an expert in dog bite wounds. There is an appropriate basis for his opinion in the record, and the proposed testimony, principles, and methods are reliable. The defendant's objection goes to the weight of the evidence, not its admissibility. So basically, they're basing their objection on the fact that he's not qualified, not whether or not Bev admitted it or it should be admitted. They want an evidentiary hearing to determine, is this guy qualified or not? And well, he's fucking not. The court did not provide any record citation or other record evidence for how the Commonwealth had met its burden to satisfy the 5 fundamental requirements, including prominently the methods are reliable requirement. Nor did the court address the alternative request of the defendant and the Daubert-Lanigan hearing be held should the court not exclude Dr. Crosby outright on the papers alone. On March 6th, the March 6th order contrasts with the court-ordered 2-day evidentiary hearing of Dr. Marie Russell, a medical doctor with approximately 30 years experience as an emergency medicine physician and forensic pathologist. Dr. Russell co-authored peer-reviewed books on dog-inflicted wounds on humans and submitted an 11-page report before the hearing in which she documented her pattern recognition methodology with robust citations to peer-reviewed studies and articles that appeared in 27 footnotes throughout her report. Wait, what? And the instant motion for reconsideration is as follows.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat.
How dare you?
Let's see. Canoni's hold on, let me just do this. Canoni's disproportionate disdain. Yeah, you win handle of the day, most definitely. Bev knows that any Commonwealth expert, quote unquote, will be eviscerated by the defense because the only expertise they have is parroting Commonwealth propaganda. Period. Full stop. I couldn't have said that better myself. Well done. Thank you, Canoni's disproportionate disdain. The defendant does not waive any reserves. The defendant does not. It is still early for me, folks. The defendant does not waive any and reserves all of the bases for exclusion of Dr. Crosby as stated in her original exclusion motion. Yet, for efficiency in this reconsideration motion, the defendant focuses on just factor 4 set forth in Polk, namely that the theory underlying the opinion is reliable. Okay. The factor is also known in the Daubert-Lanigan parlance as the methodology prong. A failure of any of the 5 fundamental factors set forth in Polk compels exclusion of the proffered testimony at issue. I want to elaborate on that a little bit here. And then, oh my God. Yeah, geez, dude.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat.
How dare you?
Lothario, thank you. Oh my God, so much. Jesus. Just popping in before a call. This is well-grounded motion. She will, of course, deny it. They are filing this to further demonstrate palpable bias, which will be needed upon appeal if needed. Thank you so much for explaining that. That means the world to me, but you did not have to super chat $500 to do that. Stop. No, I'm really, really grateful, but I swear to you, I am just grateful for your insight. Seriously. You've done so much for so many already. And I am very grateful to you. But stop. So well-grounded motion. She will, of course, deny it. We know that. They are filing this to further demonstrate palpable bias. Which will be needed upon appeal. So when they appeal, which they will, what Nan is explaining here is what we've been saying all of this time. Most of what the defense is doing is to get things on record. At least that's how I'm seeing it. It's just to get things on record. At this point, it's there, like Judge Beverly Canoni's bias is undeniable. It's so obvious. So it would be foolish. It would be bad lawyering on the defense's part to not consider this in their decision making moving forward. It would be beyond naive. It would be careless. It would be negligent for the defense to not consider this fact at this point and apply it to every bit of their decision making moving forward in this trial. So they know she's not gonna. They know she's gonna deny the motion. They know she's going to include Dr. Crosby. This is all just for when the appeal happens, because it will, for them to be able to make their argument. We filed motion after motion. We put everything on record. And despite the facts, despite everything that dictates that Dr. Russell was more qualified, clearly qualified, her resume alone makes her qualified. And then this person whose resume alone makes him clearly unqualified, and you're not even going to hold a hearing? Bev? Really? Okay. So yeah, thank you, Laferio. Only Nan, the notorious Nan Gallagher. Thank you so much. We love you. So I want to talk about this a little bit more. The defendant does not waive any and reserves all of the basis for exclusion of Dr. Crosby as stated in her original exclusion motion. Yet for efficiency in this reconsideration motion, the defendant focuses on just factor 4. So they're saying we stand by everything in the original motion that was denied. We stand by everything there, but we really want to focus on the 4th factor in Daubert-Lanigan, that the theory underlying the opinion is reliable. This factor is also known as the Daubert-Lanigan parlance as the methodology prong. Failure of any of these 5 fundamental factors set forth in Polk compels exclusion of the proffered testimony at issue. So they're saying factor 4 alone, that's the prong, that's the big deal, that's the mothership of all the big one, the one that they need to really bring home when it comes to why this motion should be denied, or this motion should be approved. Excuse me. The Commonwealth's opposition to the defendant's exclusion motion, the Commonwealth had 4 opportunities to show that it can meet the Daubert-Lanigan methodology prong. Its written opposition dated February 17th, 2025, the supplemental report of Dr. Crosby dated February 19th, 2025, in which he discussed the mold aspect of his unsupported mold measurement methodology, but failed to account for the absence of any requisite overlay in his methodology. Oral argument on the exclusion motion of March 4th, 2025, and the list of cases in which Dr. Crosby has testified in court, which was submitted to the court on March 6, 2025. Now, remember, Dr. Russell signed an affidavit. Dr. Russell signed one where she basically destroyed Dr. Crosby's methodology. She destroyed it. She was like, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. This is what he should have done. How could he have come to this conclusion without having done this? And yet, it's almost like it made Bev mad and denied their motion out of spite. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Notably, Dr. Crosby has never attempted to make such a showing either. His report is completely bereft of any of even a mention of satisfaction of general acceptance of his mold measurement methodology or satisfaction of the Daubert-Lanigan factors, let alone showing of meeting. It fades out towards the end there. So I don't know what that word is. And he has never submitted an affidavit to support anything about himself, including his qualifications or documentation of any kind of how his purported methodology is generally accepted or otherwise reliable with citations to medical or scientific literature. So basically, this guy was like, yeah, this is what I did, blah, blah, blah. But he showed absolutely no, there were no reports. There was no, what do you call it, that Dr. Russell? There was no publications that that back up any of his methodology. Nothing. There's nothing. But Dr. Russell is not only is she qualified based on just her resume, but she was able to cite all kinds of different literature, different studies. She was able to cite all kinds of different shit, not to mention her 30 years of experience in this field. So here, Judge Bev raked her through the coals, or allowed Brennan to do so. And Dr. Crosby hasn't backed up anything. I mean, okay, and they're not even focusing on this fact, though, is how do we know that's Chloe? He took these molds of Chloe's teeth, but the problem with that is it's not fucking Chloe. How do we know that's Chloe? I'm telling you that I absolutely believe with everything in my being that Chloe's fucking dead. So how do we even know that that's Chloe? And how are you going to match a mold of a dog, any dog, doesn't matter. How are you even going to match the mold of the correct dog who bit someone? Like, let's just say it's undisputed, right? You've got a dog bite and then you've got a dog bite victim. And then you're like, oh, let's just, for the sake of fucking around, while we patch this guy up, let's take a mold of the dog's teeth and match it to the wounds. How the fuck are you going to do that? I'd love to hear the methodology as to how that's done correctly. That proves that dog is the one who bit the victim. Like, I mean, how if somebody is getting attacked by a dog, right, on their arm, they're moving, they're like, yo, let go of my fucking arm. That shit hurts. At the very least, that's what they're doing. Let's just say they take pain real well. At least they're going, hey, man, that hurts. Let go of my fucking arm. So that dog is going to let go, grab on again. It's going to pull this way. It's going to pull that way. There's no fucking way. It is impossible to determine. Of course, they're not going to match. Even if it's the same dog is my point. Even if it was the dog, there's no way to prove that that's the dog that way. The only way is through DNA. There is no DNA of Chloe on record. Not that we know of. So this is all a fucking sham. Now, obviously, the defense, they have to be extremely specific, and they have to find one thing to pinpoint and really drive home and focus on. Because it would just be sloppy if they were to put in a filing, a motion, what I'm saying right now, even though it's common sense and we all know it. But it would be sloppy. Brennan would destroy it. But it's fucking obvious. I mean, how the fuck are you supposed to like match in order to be able to prove that that wasn't Chloe? That methodology has to be able to prove that taking a dog's mold can prove the bite marks on someone's arm or wherever the fuck they got bit. There's no way to do that. So how can you prove that it wasn't Chloe? Especially if the dog, you can't prove that the dog that you took the mold from is Chloe in the first place. Because they also have to be real careful about, you know, they can't just straight up call Brennan a fucking a thug and a liar, can they? That's unprofessional. He's their brother in the law. Even though the rest of us could sit here and go, Brendan's a fucking weasel, a thug, and a fucking liar. We can do that, but the defense can't do that. On February 17, 2025, the February 17, 2025 affidavit submitted by Mr. Brennan is likewise of no weight in the injury. As he lacks firsthand knowledge of the requisite expertise in the subject matter of the dispute. And that's the other thing. He's not even fucking qualified. Like, he's not even the guy to do it. Like, think about it. Let me see if I can like come up with an analogy on the fly here to try to explain what's going through my head when I'm thinking about this. All right. So, all right. Let's just say some guy puts ink in a glass of water. And he says, if I put vinegar in this water, it's going to turn the water clear. Right? If I put vinegar in this water, it's going to turn the water clear. And then, well, that's actually a bad analogy. Let me think of something that's okay. Okay. You got a guy in a kitchen, right? He's talking to a chef, 5-star chef, right? And he says, if I take this cake and I put more salt in it than sugar, right? I put more salt in it than sugar. It's just some guy in the kitchen with the chef. And he says, I put more salt in it than sugar. It's going to make it sweeter, right? And then the chef is going to go, no fucking way. Right? And he says, well, I'm telling you that I know you're a 5-star chef, but I'm telling you that if I put more salt in this cake than sugar, it's going to make it sweeter. Right? And then the chef goes, well, okay, well, I'm interested. I'm listening. What exactly is it that you do for a living? Well, I wash rags that clean toilets. But I'm trying to tell you, okay, that if you put more salt in this cake, Mr. 5-star chef, if you put more salt in this cake than sugar, then it's going to come out sweeter. But you wash rags that clean toilets, dude. That's what you do for a living. How do you know that? I just fucking do. Okay? I just fucking do. That's basically what's going on here. Dr. Russell's the 5-star chef. That's basically what's going on here. Sorry it took me so long to think of that analogy. dispute. But even in his affidavit, Mr. Brennan mentions nothing about satisfaction of the common acceptance precept of the Daubert-Lanigan factors. Tellingly, Mr. Brennan merely states in paragraph 7 in a bald conclusion that Dr. Crosby has engaged in substantial methodology. Emphasis added. Substantial does not begin to satisfy the requirement that is mold measurement methodology of Dr. Crosby is supported by evidence of common acceptance in the relevant medical or scientific community or satisfaction of the relevant Daubert-Lanigan factors. So yeah, there's not a fucking cookbook on the fucking planet that says if you put more salt in cake than sugar, that it's going to make it sweeter. There's not one goddamn fucking cookbook. Show me a cookbook where it says that shit. And then I'll start listening to you. That's what's going on here. Likewise, in its written opposition, the Commonwealth stated that Dr. Crosby engaged in recognized methodology to study the abrasions of John O'Keefe's arm, but wholly failed to state any source for such recognition. Commonwealth, there is none. Commonwealth opposition at 2, there is none. As a result, the Commonwealth has provided the court with no basis on which to conclude that the mold measurement methodology of Dr. Crosby is reliable. The prerequisite for satisfying the fourth factor of Polk, the methodology prong of Daubert-Lanigan, the court cannot satisfy its gatekeeper function by invoking the same conclusory statements as the Commonwealth has invoked here regarding reliable methodology. Bulldog Mom, thank you. I'm at the cake. I'm dying at the cake analogy. I love you. Thank you so much. Sometimes I have to dumb things down for myself, people. A lot of what I do is just for my own benefit. But I'm glad you get something out of it. The gatekeeping function of the court under Rule 702 and its importance. Case law makes clear that the gatekeeping function of the trial court is especially significant. This is all the more so in light of the seriousness of the charges lodged by the Commonwealth here. As the Massachusetts Guide to Evidence states in 2024, Massachusetts Rule 702 is based on federal rules of evidence, Section 702, while additionally maintaining the common acceptance test. As a result, federal decisions interpreting blah, 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 702 are particularly instructive. Lola, thank you so much, the good dog. The only way they could have a mold of Chloe's teeth from 3 years ago would be if they stuffed her, kept her taxidermy mounted somewhere. Right, exactly. Good point. Thank you, Lola. I appreciate it. As the Massachusetts Guide to Evidence states, Massachusetts Rule 702 is based on federal rules of evidence, Section 702, while additionally maintaining the common acceptance test. As a result, federal decisions interpreting 702 particularly instructive. I just said that like Trooper Paul. The gatekeeping function of the trial judge under Daubert-Lanigan and Rule 702 precepts is of paramount importance. Commonwealth versus DeChico. I want to say that's DeChico. Yeah, DeChico. The motion judge in her role as gatekeeper has a significant function to carry out in deciding on the admissibility of a scientific expert opinion. Emphasis added, quoting Lanigan, 419 Massachusetts 25. The reason for this importance was recently underscored as follows. Because Rule 702 grants experts wide latitude to offer opinions, including those that are not based on firsthand knowledge or observations. Expert evidence can be both powerful and quite misleading. Quite misleading. Very important. As such, the importance of the gatekeeping functions cannot be overstated. So this is basically them I'm not going to go through all this, but it's basically just citing all of these reasons as to why Bev is compelled to do this. So this is just to piggyback off of Nan's comment earlier. Nan was saying they know Bev's going to deny this motion, but all of this is going to be on record because this is all of the reasons and all of the case law that they're citing as to why it would be unlawful for her to deny this motion. So this is going to be really handy when they appeal. So I don't think I'm going to read the rest of this because it's basically just them explaining in full detail. Well, Robert Alessi specifically explaining in full detail why she needs to fucking do this shit because it's unlawful if she doesn't. So what I am going to do is move on to his affidavit. So here is the affidavit of Robert J. Alessi in support of defendant's motion for reconsideration of March 6, 2025 court order denying defendant's motion to exclude the testimony of the Commonwealth's witness, James W. Crosby, PhD. I, Robert Alessi, hereby state as follows. I am a partner with the law firm of DLA Piper LLP in the United States, I guess, and I am a member in the good standing of the Bar of the State of New York. Excuse me. I am co-counsel for Ms. Reed and have been admitted pro hoc vice in the above captioned matter. I make the following statements based upon my personal knowledge in support of the defendant's motion for reconsideration of March 6, 2025 court order, March 6 order, denying defendant's motion to exclude the testimony of the Commonwealth witness, James W. Crosby. In denying the defendant's motion to exclude the testimony of Dr. Crosby, the court stated in its March 6 order that the Commonwealth has satisfied the foundational requirements of Daubert-Lanigan. The evidence will assist the jury. Dr. Crosby is an expert in dog bite wounds. There is an appropriate basis for his opinion in the record. In the proposed testimony, principles and methods are reliable. The defendant's objection goes to the weight of the evidence, not its admissibility. Because the Commonwealth has not shown and cannot show the mold measurement methodology of Dr. Crosby is generally accepted in the relevant medical or scientific community and cannot satisfy the five foundational factors identified, Commonwealth versus Polk, or the apt Daubert-Lanigan factors, and for the other reasons discussed in the accompanying motion for reconsideration of the March 6 order denying defendant's motion to exclude the testimony of the Commonwealth's witness, Dr. Crosby, defendant respectfully requests that the court reconsider its March 6 order and exclude the testimony of Dr. Crosby. In the alternative, the defendant requests that the court convene a Daubert-Lanigan evidentiary hearing on Dr. Crosby. And Bulldog Mom, welcome to Logic. Thank you. Defendant reserves all and does not waive any arguments or rights about the other failures of the Commonwealth to meet its burden of proof regarding Dr. Crosby, such as the lack of the requisite qualifications of Dr. Crosby signed under the pains and penalties of perjury this 12th day of March 2025. So believe me, Bev, I, Bobby Alessi, am no liar. And because the Commonwealth has not shown and cannot show that the mold measurement methodology of Dr. Crosby is generally accepted in a relevant medical or scientific community, cannot satisfy the five foundational. So basically, in short, my friends, Judge Bev, Judge Gordon Ramsay, because homie's methodology as to making salt, adding salt and making cake sweeter than sugar, since it's not supported by any other chefs who have written anything published in regards to baking cakes, well then, You got to exclude him. Kick him out of the school. He doesn't belong. He's got nothing to add here. He's wasting everybody's fucking time. He smells like Grant. Very simple. Even though I couldn't read half of it, but it's very simple. So I'm just going to move on to the next subject now. Because what's going on here right now is just fucking, it's it's a lot of motion war going on between the defense and Brennan. And I refuse to say Brennan and Lally because, like, I'm not going to consider Lally to be part of fucking anything. Like, Lally just sits up there, like, just sit up there, look straight ahead. Like, it's weird that Lally sits in front of Brennan because it's like Brennan's like, I picture this scenario where Brennan's like, dude, listen to me. You fucking sit right there. Sit where I can see you. And don't you fucking look back at me. Don't you turn around. Don't turn around. You look straight ahead. And just sit there where I can fucking see you. Do as you're told. And you only talk when I talk to you. That's what I think is going on. Lally is Brennan's gimp. Like, when they leave the courtroom, Lally goes in a box. Then he sleeps in a little box. That's what happens. And Brennan grabs him Brennan keeps him on a fucking leash. And then he lets him off the leash and he goes, all right, when we get in that fucking courtroom, you don't say shit to anybody. Smile, shake hands, don't see shit. You sit right in front of me. Don't you fucking turn around. You just look straight ahead. Don't talk. Just look straight ahead. And then when they're done, oh, hey, yeah. I know, right? Get your ass over here. What did I fucking tell you about smiling? Get in a box. Lally lives in a box, bro. Lally sleeps in a box. In Brennan's little gimp box. Mr. Brennan, is your co-counsel here? Your co-counsel? Who are you referring to, Judge? Mr. Lally. Oh, yeah. I just one moment, Your Honor. Bring out the gimp. Thank you. Bust out the gimp. All right, so we're gonna move on to this Proctor bullshit. Let's see what this is all about. So let's just start off with something fun. We'll read Crusty Panty's tweet here. We'll start off with that because it's the first thing that popped up on my feed. So she says here, I'll just add it. Y'all can see it. Trooper Michael Proctor, a 12-year veteran of the Massachusetts police with an unblemished record. He didn't run from the fact that he called Karen Reed a cunt and insulted her in private message. Karen Reed, a woman whose private messages are apparently so reprehensible that she elects to use the encrypted app Signal to ensure they never see the light of day. Proctor didn't even make excuses. He simply acknowledged they were regrettable, unprofessional, and acceptable. Bro, I love that shit. I fucking love that shit, dude. I'm such a big fan of seeing that stupidity. Like, I love when these people try to, like, make shit up just to control a narrative. Like, right now, the anti-free Karen Reeds are running wild on Twitter right now, like trying to take this statement, this so-called statement made by Elizabeth Proctor and Michael Proctor's family, and trying to shift the narrative to make him seem credible, which is really funny. Because if that's the case, I mean, what's the point? Like, is the prosecution going to call him up as a witness? Is that what they're trying to do? Are they trying to like paint him in the public to be this, like, this stand-up guy? And I love how she's like, oh, he took accountability. Karen Reed talks to people on Signal, but he took accountability and he sat there on the stand and he admitted that it was wrong and blah, 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 blah. Bro, the only reason that happened was because Lally got in front of it. Lally got in front of it so that it wouldn't catch the jury off guard during cross-examination. That's all that happened. Stop trying to act like it was this noble fucking gesture, like it was this noble, this commendable act of valor and being a stand-up, decorated dude. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit. The only reason he admitted to it was because he was fucking caught. He knew the defense had it. He knew that the defense was going to use it to discredit him, and rightfully so. Because, like it or not, he's fucking discredited. No cop worth a shit does that. Like, I'm not even talking about his lack of masculinity here. I'm not even talking about him being a man or lack thereof. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about it being a cop. No cop fucking does that, dude. By having Crosby testify after Dr. Russell, the defense cannot refute. Thank you so much, Jody. Of course Krusty really wrote that. Of course she did. Dude, like, think about that. Like, the only reason is because the defense saw it. The shit came up from the FBI. That's another thing. It came up during the federal investigation. That came up in that 3,100-page TUI report. They cropped an article yesterday to look like he was back to work. I screenshot it. Haha, they deleted it. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. Twilight Zone 913. Thank you. Born and raised in Stoughton, Massachusetts. Still live here. Went to school with Buchanan in the Farwells. Sad to watch. Really liked Yuri in school. Sad. Thank you for covering this. Love watching you. Yeah, I imagine that's got to suck, man, because like these people who do bad things, I'm sure they do good things too. Like, it's funny because I was watching Daredevil Reborn, I think it's called. Whatever the new Daredevil shit is on Disney Plus. And I was catching up on it yesterday, and there was a trial scene because Matt Murdock, Daredevil, his alter ego, he's a blind lawyer, right? And he was defending this guy who was on trial, and the prosecutor, like, the argument was that the guy, somebody died. He fucking slipped and jumped and ended up in front of a train while he was in a fight, but he didn't push the guy in front of the train. Turned out that the guy was just in his plain clothes, but moonlights as a mass vigilante as well, like Daredevil, called the White Tiger. Anyway, so Matt Murdock, Daredevil, in court is like, you moonlight as White Tiger and you do all this stuff. And he basically paints this picture like, hey, why would a guy who puts his life on the line all the time to try to help innocent people all of a sudden just kill a cop in cold blood? Because it was a bunch of dirty cops that would like jump some guy, and then he was playing close. He didn't know what else to do, so he jumped in, but he wasn't dressed like White Tiger. One of the cops died because he fell in front of a train. That's what happened. They were dirty cops. They were beating some innocent guy up. But the prosecutor in his closing arguments made kind of a decent argument. He was like, so just because somebody is a good person, they're not capable of doing bad things? or just because somebody's a bad person, they're not capable of doing good things. So when I see comments like that about people who like went to school with these dirty ass cops, hung out with them, I'm sure some of them are a fucking cut up to hang out with. Some of them might even pick up the tab for you at the bar, and it's hard. It's hard to like see these people capable of doing something as disgusting as framing an innocent woman for murder. But it does fucking happen. It does happen. Bad people do good things all the time, and good people do bad things all the time. It happens. It doesn't mean that these things didn't happen. It doesn't mean that they didn't do these things. Like, does it indicate to me, having met Karen Reed and her being a nice person, does it indicate to me that she's innocent? Sure, it indicates it, but it doesn't prove it. The data proves it. The evidence proves it. Karen Reed just being a nice person and her family supporting her the way that they do and them being really nice people just solidifies it for me. That's the difference. It just solidifies it for me. But if I had overwhelming evidence of Karen Reed's guilt, I might still meet Karen Reed and be like, nice person. You know what I mean? Like, but guilty. I mean, so this shit right here, this bullshit fucking excuse about, oh, well, an unblemished record and blah, 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 blah. Dude, we're talking about a guy who's in a position to where he's got to look out for his own. We know that he has a relationship with the Alberts and the McCabe's, and we know that Jennifer McCabe hangs out with Elizabeth Proctor at their house. We know this. This is a fact. So Krusty Panties is just trying to throw her own smoke and mirrors into the court of public opinion, into the jury in the court of public opinion. It's just not working. Leona, thank you so much. I can't believe people are actually trying to protect this piece of shit of a Massachusetts state trooper. I don't like to be mean, to be a mean person, but it's to the point now. Enough is enough. I agree. This is ridiculous. Anybody defending Proctor at this point is a fucking piece of shit. Like, it's that easy. If you're defending Proctor at this point, you're a piece of shit. This guy, if you're a cop defending Proctor at this point, you're a piece of shit. Because this guy made every one of you guys look bad. He did everything he could to make you look bad. He is a bad representation of your profession. It's not just about the text messages. People get so caught up about those text messages. I'm hardly caught up on those text messages. I'm hardly hung up on those things. I am hung up on how he conducted this investigation. I'm hung up on the fact that he's buddies with the so-called witnesses. And I'm hung up on the fact that he took his sweet ass time to interview them. I'm hung up on the fact that this guy practiced absolutely no methodology when it comes to memorialization of evidence or chain of custody of evidence. All of these things are things that people are forgetting in the cloud, in the wake of those disgusting text messages. Those disgusting text messages, yes, they're disgusting, but they are a fraction of what concerns me about this guy right here. Not one interview was actually memorialized by any method used by any experienced investigator. Like, we live in an age where you don't even have to carry a digital recorder anymore because that was standard when it was a thing. You could just turn on your phone. We live in an age where we don't have to use tape recorders anymore, which was standard at the time when they were being used to conduct interviews. Because technology evolved to digital recording. And then guess what? Technology evolved beyond that, where you can do it with your fucking phone. There's no reason. Body cams. There's no reason why we should have a bunch of statements from so-called witnesses with no signatures, and they're just his word, or Tully's word, or Bukaki's word. Silly, man. And we're supposed to just eat that shit. We're supposed to forget all of these things while Krusty Panties paints this narrative that this guy's such a great cop. Get the fuck out of my face. He knew details such as John's adoption of his niece and nephew. Yeah, we know. Trooper Proctor has been proven guilty of one thing only: discussing shocking crime he was assigned to investigate that occurred in his community. Talk about hitting close to home. This one was nearly next door. He knew details such as John's adoption of his niece and nephew, the fact that John was also a cop. His sister knew people who knew John. John was a member of Trooper Proctor's community. Of course he was, dude. He was friends with the fucking McCabe's, or trying to be friends with the Alberts and the McCabe's. Of course he knew this stuff. Like the fact that she's trying to make it out to be like he took such an interest in the victim. He didn't take an interest in the victim. He took an interest in appearing as though he had an interest in the victim. Like, I can't even read this whole thing. This is the stupidest, dumb shit in the world. This is so dumb. Let's see Court TV's oh shit. I didn't mean to exit out of that, but oh God. Where's the mute? Where's the volume? Oh.
Side case involving defendant Karen Reed.
This lady just fucking sucks, dude. Can't stand this fucking woman, bro.
And Boston police officer John O'Keefe. This morning, we're seeing the family of the case lead investigator, Michael Proctor.
Now, of course, it's going to be her who puts this out there. I'm telling you, call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but I can't understand why the mainstream media, why else the mainstream media would be spinning this narrative. The Misadventures Book Mouse. John didn't adopt the kids. He shared guardianship. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it.
Releasing a statement to the press, releasing a statement that says in part
Look, you
that
see that? And they try to find the most unflattering pictures. Like you see the games that Julie Grant plays. Like, look at this crap. Hold on. I need to read something first before. Okay. I just got some really great news. But I can't share it. I'm sorry, guys. But look at this shit. Look at what Julie Grant's doing, dude. Look at this bullshit. I mean, this is garbage. Like,
that it's time to focus on the real perpetrator. They have said that Michael Proctor has been defamed, maligned, and falsely labeled. by the alleged killer Karen Reed and her defense team and her mob of followers. That is what they're saying in this press release. Michael Proctor's wife, Elizabeth, said at the end of the day, a beloved police officer and honorable man was killed. The prosecution believes it's an open and shut case, and the defense knows this too. So their tactic is to put my husband, the lead investigator, on trial for sending texts on his personal phone to his family and friends, end quote. We're going to continue following this one. It is important to note that while there were accusations made against Michael Proctor of planting evidence or corruptly investigating the case, there was no evidence to support that at the first trial. Also, the federal investigation into this case as to whether there was corruption found Proctor.
Wait.
Continue following this one. It is important to note that while there were accusations made against Michael Proctor of planting evidence or corruptly investigating the case, there was no evidence to support that at the first trial. Also, the federal
Court TV, you know, I still have hope for you. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I realize that a lot of people are going to be like, no. I still have hope for you. But this shit right here, this fucking shit, this is bad. Like, she should not be doing that. Because the defense absolutely showed evidence of this. The defense proved it. It is undeniable at this point. So what Julie Grant is doing right now is fucking lying. That's exactly what she's doing right now. Luna's mom, thank you so much. The dude who can't take one picture. Yeah. That's gross too. But you have to see this shit. Like, this is your face, bro. This is Court TV's face right here. Fucking lying. So, yeah.
Investigation into this case as to whether there was corruption found nothing as well. And they note that in the press release as well.
They note that in the press release as well. They note that in the press release. So my words, but I just want to go on and reiterate. They're my words and they're my feelings. I want you to know that these are my personal feelings and they're noted in the press release as well. Just so you know. Julie Grant, you're not doing yourself any favors. You look like a fucking asshole. You look like a fucking asshole. So this just popped up on my feed. I just went right back to Twitter. Turtle Boy says, Proctors, who among us has not said something regrettable in moments of stress, shock, and sadness? Also, Proctors, she's guilty because a firefighter claims she said, I hit him while in a state of shock, stress, and sadness. Good point. And then there's this fucking moron, the John DePietro show. And it was funny. I saw something earlier that he posted. And Turtle Boy's response was just laughter. It was just laughter. It was just really funny. He was like, this is going to change everything. No, it's not, dude. No, it's not. The family of Michael Proctor, the lead investigator in the murder case that left a beloved Boston police officer dead, is finally speaking out and accusing the defense of using Proctor to deflect from the overwhelming evidence against Karen Reed. I love that they're all pushing this. It's so funny. It's like the biggest nothing burger of all fucking time. I'm not even going to read all this bullshit, but I'm just pointing out that the effort here is clearly to try to spin a narrative, try to shift the narrative of, oh my God, Michael Proctor's family is speaking out and Michael Proctor is a victim of all this because he was used by the defense to deflect from the facts of the case. What facts? The only facts that were presented in the case is that Michael Proctor conducted the worst fucking investigation in the history of investigations. That's the only fucking evidence to take out of this. Like, at the end of the day, Michael Proctor is the reason, the sole reason, the nucleus of the reason for reasonable doubt in this case. He is directly to blame for the majority of reasonable doubt, and all of this case is reasonable doubt, by the way. But he is directly to blame for the majority of the reasonable doubt in the prosecution's case. Simple. The fact that Court TV is not pointing that out is fucking with Court TV's credibility. That's what's fucking up Court TV's credibility. Having people like Julie Grant up there not pointing that out is what's fucking up Court TV's credibility. Stifling Vinnie Politan from being able to point that out is what's fucking up credibility for Court TV. Because I know Vinnie Politan wants to say that shit. I know he does. I know he's dying to. He wants to fucking, like, he comes so close. He comes so close. Any second, I'm going to see this guy just fucking any second. And then let's go to, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat.
How dare
Terry Sue, thank you so much. Julie Grant sucks. It's incredible that Proctor's wife would speak about this topic at all, because he not only completely disrespected Karen, but he was looking for nudes of another woman. It's all so ridiculous. I agree. Totally. Thank you, Terry Sue. Yeah, it's fucking asinine. This whole thing is insane. Now here's, so yesterday, this John DePietro idiot, he's like, the revenge of Trooper Mike Proctor and his family regarding the Karen Reed defense and the public call to action. And I guess they put out this statement. Hold on. For Officer Friendly, thank you. They're trying to taint the jury pool before the trial. That's exactly what they're doing. That's clearly what they're doing. And they're not even being subtle about it, because they're all trying to spin this into something, this nothing into something. That's the tell here. And it's funny because it's these, I swear, the Norfolk County DA's office and its surrounding entities, its tentacles, if you will, are the masters of their own Streisand effect. It's a constant thing with them. For instance, so this John DePietro guy, tomorrow, the revenge of Trooper Mike Proctor and his family regarding the Karen Reed defense and public call to action. Public call to action right there. Okay, right there, clearly. Investigator in Karen Reed murder case will share their side. Except he didn't. It was like his dumb wife who who tried to get Free Karen Reed supporters fired from their jobs for simply having an opinion. Hi, John. Tomorrow morning, we will be sending you the Proctor family's response to the defense's misinformation campaign in the Karen Reed case. For the first time, the family of Michael Proctor, the lead investigator in the case, is sharing their thoughts about the defense's deliberate efforts to malign Proctor and deflect from the evidence in the murder case. They will also have a specific call to action for the public. We just wanted to give you a heads up that this is coming your way. We'll be back in touch tomorrow morning. Very interesting. So right here, they are clearly using the media to try to spin their narrative. I mean, this is clear. The Proctor family is using independent media, and he's proving it. Like, he's showing. He's like, they contacted me directly, and they're like, we need you to put this out there. But Betero reposted this. Okay. So Betero reposts, and he says, anyone who understands PR, public relations, recognizes that this is amateur hour and will be an unmitigated disaster. Consider the timing, the purpose, the call to action, quote unquote, and the outlet. Exactly. Mark Betero, the mighty Mark Betero, is not silent, people. So first off, calm down. Just because he can't make appearances on YouTube channels right now, it doesn't mean that he can't be outspoken about his opinions on Twitter within reason, which is exactly what he just did. And I'm really glad that he did, because he basically, in his own words and a much shorter version of what I just gave, a much shorter version of what I just said. Clearly, that this is a bad move. This is a bad move, because this totally looks like Hank Brennan is using the Proctor, or the Proctors, I should say, to spin a public narrative and to possibly taint a jury. Public call to action? That's a good look. Like this, he posted the screenshot. This is Michael Proctor's spokespeople reaching out to this propagandist, this anti-Turtle Boy guy, and using him to spin a narrative. How's that any different from Meatball Morrissey's hostage video? Anybody want to explain that to me? And here's another one from the mighty Mark Betero. He says PR 101. The statement had to be from Michael Proctor directly, and he had to express sincere contrition. He had to address specifics. Instead, it was foolishly styled as his revenge, was bitter in tone, and he hid behind the two family members involved in proposed bribes, gifts, or whatever you want to call it. This is Betero spelling it out, folks. Gratuitous shots at defendant and lawyers, which is pattern and part of the underlying problem. There is no way this was managed by a professional PR outfit. This just an absolute fiasco. Now, I misspoke. That wasn't a typo on Betero's part. But I mean, that explains it in detail right there, folks. Let's ponder on this for a moment. It had to be from Michael Proctor directly. And he had to express sincere contrition. He had to address specifics. But instead, what he did was he foolishly styled it as his revenge. And he used people that the defense proved that there were bribes and gifts, that they were the channel, they were the middlemen, they were the mules for his bribes and gifts from the McAlberts to put out this statement. He used them to put out this statement. Incredible. Hold on one second here. Let me I'm just going to kind of see what else we got up here. I'm loving this happy, angry lawyer guy. He's great. I got to get him up here at some point. But I have to, people. I have to, let me find Brit's page. Because she's been posting a lot of this lady's stuff. And we're just going to go over it to celebrate her for a minute, because I don't think any YouTube creators have really covered this person yet. And I am dying to get her up here. And I sent her a message. She has not responded yet, but I want Miss McKinney on this show.
I tried to stay neutral. I really did. I tried to let the whole case play out. As of right now, day 17, I am firmly on the side of free Karen Reed. The cognitive dissonance.
Okay, now let me set this person up a little bit. Now, this person is an attorney. I don't know exactly what type of practice she has, or what she practices, what field of law, but I know that she's an attorney. And what she's been doing is she's been going through the trial neutral. She's been going through the trial day by day. So this is her at day 17. She's going to explain, but she kicks off this day 17 update video saying, I am firmly on the side of free Karen Reed. But she also does a follow-up video to explain her position better. But I have thoughts on this, but I'm going to let her speak. Ms. McKinney, y'all.
You have to have all of this evidence presented to you and still believe that this lady should be in prison is actually scary.
Right.
It actually makes me scared that I have to walk among people who are able to disregard facts like that.
Now, those of you who have been following my channel for a long time, Miss McKinney is fucking spitting right now. Okay? Because she's basically saying things that I have said so many times here. And it is just so refreshing and validating when not only a fresh mind, a fresh, intelligent mind, as well as a fresh attorney's mind reiterates that I'm not fucking crazy. I mean, almost word for word, she is saying things that I know I've said on this channel many times in rants as reactions to what I'm hearing and seeing. Kelly, thank you so much. I've spoken to her. She wants to wait until she has seen the entire trial. I figured that. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate it. And that just tells me even more that this is the kind of person that I want to talk to.
Because I will say it in every video. I think I'm going to say it in every video. If you did nothing but find a man dead, why the lies?
There you go.
Why won't you answer the questions that are asked?
This is somebody who I'm imagining, because the way that she's approaching this and the fact that she's waiting until she finishes the trial before she speaks to anybody tells me that she is looking at the Turtle Boy aspect the same way that I did. She wants to see the facts first. She doesn't want to hear someone reporting on it. She doesn't want to hear someone else's opinions on it until she makes up her own mind. based on the facts, based on the evidence, based on the trial, based on the reports. Has anybody sent her sleuthy goosey spreadsheet? I'm sure she would find that very helpful. So I'm of the opinion that she doesn't even know who well, I'm not saying she doesn't know who Turtle Boy is yet, but made it a point, probably the same way that I did. I'm not ready to talk to Turtle Boy yet. I'm not ready to read Turtle Boy articles yet. I want to assess things for myself before I get into that. And I'm guessing that that's what she's doing right now. So there's no outside influence here. I'm guessing. I'm assuming, based on the rationality that she's giving off here.
Why can't y'all remember anything? Are y'all?
So she doesn't know anything about the McAlberts. She just watched them testify. She doesn't know shit about the McAlberts. She just watched them testify, and here she is going, these motherfuckers are lying. Why are they lying? This is what we hoped a jury would see. What she's experiencing and expressing of her experience is the obvious, is what we hoped that the jury would have seen. The whole time, pre-trial 1.0, we were like, just wait till the jury hears this shit. It was simple. It was cut and dry for us. We were like, just wait till the jury hears this shit. I can't wait till she gets to the point and she finds out about the hung jury, and then finds out about Ronnie, and then finds out about this going to another trial and why it's going to another trial and all the pre-motions that have taken place to get to this next trial and every fucking bullshit Brennan has spewed out of his face. I can't fucking wait till Miss McKinney gets a hold of that shit. I am so invested in Miss McKinney being invested in this case that it's almost unhealthy at this point. I can't wait till the next one.
Y'all just around friends dying in the snow so often that it doesn't leave an imprint on your brain?
It doesn't leave an imprint on your brain? Are you kidding? Now, this is Proctor's testimony. Interesting timing, isn't it?
Watched Trooper Proctor. And this is going to be a long video, so just buckle in.
Now, buckle in, okay? But I love this because Ms. McKinney is just someone reacting to his testimony. Now, hearing Miss McKinney just being someone who's reacting to Trooper Proctor, she doesn't know anything about his relationship to the McCabe's and the Alberts. She doesn't know anything about that shit. She's looking at him as a lead investigator sitting on the stand discussing the investigation, being questioned, being examined about the investigation, and then being cross-examined. That's all she's commenting on. Fascinating. Now think about that, right? Think about Julie Grant's bullshit that she just spewed out when you hear Miss McKinney go through this video. Think about Krusty Patty's bullshit tweet that she put up there. Think about John DePietro's bullshit when you hear this.
A professor of mine in law school said something to us on our very first day of criminal law. And he said, the yardstick by which we measure our ability to deprive someone of their life, their liberty, and their happiness is we decide that you have committed the crime you are accused of beyond each and every reasonable doubt. And I remember that.
I love that. When I first heard her say that, I almost wanted to cry. Tears of joy. Because this is a good seed right here. And she's a good seed who had a law professor who she considers to be a good seed, a mentor, someone who said, probably, I would assume in theory, I've never gone to law school, but I would assume in theory would be the most important thing that a law professor could ever tell their students. I would imagine that being that. And for that to resonate so strongly with her tells me what kind of a lawyer she is. And I love that. Fairy Raven, thank you. Member for 18 months. I'm actually catching a live. Keep it up, Will. Right on. Thank you so much.
And I've been out of law school 10 years. People heard me say that I'm team free Karen Reed, and I am. But I think people heard me say that, and they twisted it in their mind to me saying that I think she didn't do it.
I love this.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Now, she's not saying she thinks that she did do it. She's only on day 18 of the trial. She's only on Proctor's testimony. She hasn't even gotten to the ARCA. Keep that in mind. Just keep in mind, she is giving updates as to where she is in real time in the trial. Okay? And here she is, and she's making this video on Proctor's testimony. And she was like, yeah, the last video, I said, I'm team free Karen Reed. People are taking that like I'm saying she didn't do it. I didn't say all that. I didn't fucking say all that shit. What I said was that I think she should go free because she believes in the law. I have said this myself before I decided definitively that I believe Karen Reed to be innocent. I said, I think she should go free. Her rights have been violated. As a patriot, as someone who believes in our justice system, and at least what our founding fathers had in mind for our justice system, as someone who strongly believes in this, yes, I believe Karen Reed has earned the right to go free because our justice system failed her because she has rights. Now, that's the point I'm making here, is that I remember being at the same exact point that she was at. At one point now, I decided she was innocent before the trial started, I think. Maybe I didn't express it because I still wanted to wait for trial. I wanted to be fair and be like, maybe there's a bombshell. But never happened. Reason why I'm making this point is because I remember feeling exactly the same way. I remember reaching a point where I thought, I'm not saying that she didn't do it. I'm saying she deserves to go free. Period. But, I mean, we know where we're at now.
What I mean when I say free Karen Reed is the state of Massachusetts has not proven to me, and I'm on day 25.
Day 25, excuse me.
I am listening to the direct examination of Trooper Paul. I'm on day 25, and I still have not heard how this lady was supposed to have killed this man or even how he died. And because they have not proven that to me beyond a reasonable doubt, it has to be free Karen Reed.
Has to be.
And just when I thought we couldn't get any worse than Brian Higgins, here comes Trooper Proctor. When I watched Trooper Proctor's testimony, I needed a day. I needed a day.
Now remember, also keep in mind that this person, she's not like, her perspective is, our perspective was, we can't wait till these people take the stand because we already fucking knew all about them. She doesn't know shit. Right? So we're like, we can't wait till these people take the stand. Her perspective is just, these are credible people, supposedly, called onto the stand by the Commonwealth in order to prove Karen Read's guilt, in order to convince a jury that Karen Read did this. That's her perspective. And each time that the prosecution calls somebody up, they get destroyed by the defense. Not only do they get destroyed by the defense, they destroy themselves before the defense even has a chance to cross-examine them. At this point, she doesn't know the things about these people that we know, about those people that have taken the stand. She doesn't know. She's just watching their testimony and basing her opinions on their testimony. This is a great example also of how good, this is a great reminder of how good Karen Read's defense team is. Keep that in mind. If you're losing faith in Karen Read's defense team or feeling like, oh, well, they didn't do this and they didn't do that, think about that. Think about the fact that there is an attorney watching this, catching up, doing it at her own pace, knowing what she needs to do in order to make up her own mind definitively of whether or not she feels Karen Read did this or not. And she is already like, every one of these fucking witnesses suck. She is absolutely approaching this case like a juror, like a neutral party.
Day. I needed a day because I had to watch it twice. Because I found myself the first time being in such shock that I wasn't processing it all the way. So I had to watch it again.
Right there, she's describing her moment, one of the many moments we experienced, and one of the many moments that she will experience. She's describing the I can't fucking believe this is real life moment. That's what she's describing. I needed a day and I needed to watch it again. Because I can't fucking believe what I just watched. I can't fucking believe this is real life. I can't fucking believe this is happening in the United States of America. And I can't fucking believe this is happening in the United States of America in a court of law. Fairy Raven, thank you so much. The fact that she's yet another attorney who sees the BS is validating to me and us who know the truth. Agreed. Yes, it's exactly how I feel about it. It's so funny, dude. Like, I can't get enough fucking validation. I can't fucking get enough. That's how crazy this is. That's how fucking crazy it is. It's not enough for me to have sat down and picked the brain of Alan Jackson. It's not enough for me to have gotten to pick the brain of David Yannetti even just for a moment. It's not enough for me to have seen Robert Alessi and his interaction with Bill Reed and show how much his heart is into this. It's not enough for me to have sat down with Mark Betterow and Nan Gallagher to have dinner to validate. It's not enough for me for any of these things, I still need the validation of an attorney who's making videos on TikTok documenting and memorializing her real-time experience and watching the first trial. Like, that's crazy. Think about that. I still need the validation because this is so fucking crazy.
The Karen Reed is guilty, people. The Karen Reed should go to prison, people.
Listen up.
I really want to talk to one of them.
Good luck.
Because either you have to decide that you are okay with the most fumbling, bumbling, Barney Fife, ridiculous, disrespectful police investigative state agency in the country, or you have to say that there is reasonable doubt in this case and she should not be found guilty.
Simple.
It cannot be both.
Plevin,
It
what say you?
cannot be both.
What say you, Plevin?
Trooper Proctor has to be the most disgusting, vile, inept, idiotic, ridiculous, Beavis and Butthead adjacent man I have ever seen in my life.
Oh my God. Brit Happens. Thank you so much. I saw that you dropped something here. Let me see what you got here. Just put up her Trooper Paul statement for you. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is fantastic. I am so invested. Brit, keep posting those. Like, do it daily, please. Brit Happens is awesome on Twitter. And I'm not following. Wait a second. I wasn't even following you. That's crazy. Make sure to follow Brit Happens on Twitter. She also has a channel. Yeah, keep posting those on Twitter, man, because I think they're great. I am so invested in Miss Bikini. Wait, is this another one? Okay, so here's her test. Here's her video on Trooper Paul. This I gotta see. This I gotta see.
I am on day 26. And I have made it to Trooper Paul. And I have some things to say.
Thank you, Orphan Methodology.
We can talk about Trooper Paul. We can talk about the idiotic things that he had to say. But I don't think that's where we need to land, right? This case has taken me from disbelief to anger.
I haven't seen this yet.
To sadness. And now I am firmly in fear of what's going on down there in Massachusetts. And I'm going to tell you why.
Because Trooper Paul's retarded?
Trooper Paul is quite possibly the dumbest dummy that ever did this. Okay. He's pretty fucking stupid. But that's not the issue. We could talk about all the stupid shit he said all day long because there was a bunch. Okay? There was a lot of it. Why I'm in fear is because the DA saw how dumb he was. Right. And still used him as their expert witness.
Absolutely.
Which tells me a couple things. Tells me a couple things. It tells me it's the best they had.
Right?
To prove
yes.
What they're trying to prove. Because you have to understand.
I know that I've made this point myself. I know for a fact I have.
The DA's office has the power of the state behind them. They have unlimited resources. They could have went out and got the toppity tip top accident reconstructionist and to prove what they thought happened if it really did happen. Instead, they went and got Stuttering Stanley.
God, dude. Okay, so if you remember, I know I've ranted about this myself. How is he the best one? And my theory is he's not. He's only the one stupid enough to agree to put up this bullshit fucking theory and try to sit in a fucking court of law and stand by it. Back it up under oath. You're not going to get a tip-top expert because no tip-top expert is ever going to agree to sit there and testify to that bullshit. It'll never happen. This is not negligence. This is corruption. But she's not there yet. Miss McKinney's not there yet, but she will be. She will be. I have the utmost confidence in that.
And they went and got him because he would get up on the stand and say what they needed him to say. And that's scary because he was not just dumb on cross. He was dumb on direct. That means he was dumb in every conversation y'all had with him. And y'all still went, yeah, let's do this, my boy. I'm afraid. I'm afraid for the people in Massachusetts because they did this and they did not care what you think.
Exactly.
They don't care what you think about it.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't care that you hear him being dumb. They don't care. I really need to get to the end of this trial because I really need to know what these jurors were hung up on. Because if
so she does, obviously she does know that it was a hung jury. She just wants to know how it got there.
Paul was not all the reasonable doubt you needed. I need to know, what did you need? What if you still have some sort of version of events?
I'm working on it.
That would make you say guilty in this case, then you were never going to say not guilty. And I feel like the judge should be granting an order for dismissal. I don't know if they asked for one. I'm sure they did after testimony. But after Trooper Paul, a judge should have been like, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, they filed at least 2 motions for dismissal.
Think y'all have enough to convict beyond a reasonable doubt. That's going to have to be the end of that. This man, quite possibly. And then you know what? I started off thinking, so he's just dumb. Maybe he's not in the corruption. He's just dumb.
Okay, so she does
quickly change.
Okay, she's convinced at this point that there's corruption. So that's good too.
Because as an expert, you're supposed to say, I got in this data, I plugged in my formula.
I didn't want to say anything, but I just, what I believed in my mind when I said that she didn't think there was corruption yet was that she believes there's corruption. She's just not saying it yet. But I underestimated her. She's this is fucking corrupt. It's obvious it's corrupt.
Formulas. I did what I do. I applied my expertise, and these are the results I got. So if the data changes, your opinion should change.
Yeah.
And when Jackson says, well, if I give you different data, does your opinion change? He says, no. Oh, okay. So the story that she hit him with her car was going to fit any narrative you got. And that's why they put him on the stand. And that is terrifying.
Terrifying.
I'm on day 26, y'all.
Ms. McKinney, y'all. Ms. McKinney. All right. Let's see what else we got here. No, I love this. Like, it's so funny. They're just like, it's the defense lied, but there's no proof as to why. Okay, hold on. What is this? Hold on. Here's a throwback just to while I step away for a moment here. Something Deanna posted.
Life. Grant Ellis, the little rat from Massachusetts who reports everything that happens to the higher authority, the biggest bootlicker that has ever lived, finally got what he deserved. Watch this. This 3-second moment is one of the best responses I've ever seen in my entire life. Look at it, he's just trying to record. He's just trying to like, why can't I get up there? Why? And she's just blocking him. She's like, no, not for you, buddy. No, not for you. It's so good. I could literally watch this for hours, you guys. For hours. It is the best video I have ever seen from the Karen Reed trial so far. That's what happens to rats. Life. Grant Ellis,
I gotta watch that
the
more time.
little rat from Massachusetts who reports everything that happens to the higher authority, the
I fucking love Larry, bro.
biggest bootlicker that has ever lived, finally got what he deserved. Watch this. This 3-second moment is one of the best responses I've ever seen in my entire life. Look at it, he's just trying to record. He's just trying to like, why can't I get up there? Why? And she's just blocking him. She's like, no, not for you, buddy. No, not for you.
Oh fucking shit, dude. That is fucking great. This is so fucking good. Oh my god, dude. All right, we're gonna kick it up a notch, y'all. We're gonna kick it up a notch. Phone lines are open. Phone lines are now open. Call in. And a big shout out to Tom and Mike Seeking Justice. Nan was on Tom and Mike's Seeking Justice earlier today. It was awesome. And SD has her channel, and she goes live every Monday and Wednesday, I think. Is it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Will you go live tomorrow? I don't know. Laura Riker, member for 7 months. Thank you so much. Reminds me of Hannibal and Monty's validation. Love it. Yeah, like yeah, she's just doing that on her own. You know, Hannibal and Monty was like showing somebody new, and I plan on doing this again with the new guest. But yeah, like she's reacting on her own and documenting it. It's great. All of AJ's Nichols, thank you. Love her. I watched her. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, she's all the rage in the Free Karen Reed movement on Twitter right now.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Haven't spoken to you since you were in Boston the second to the last time.
Okay. How are you doing?
But wonderful, wonderful. That last lady was just awesome, wasn't she?
Yeah, Ms. McKinney's great.
Yeah, I picked up on her a couple nights ago accidentally. I was just scrolling through TikTok and other stuff. And I just like listening to her. Just the way her expressions and everything are just so awesome.
Yeah.
And real. Just real.
Yeah, no, she's definitely reacting. Like you can tell she's watching the shit going, what the fuck? And then she's like, oh, I gotta make a video. You know? Like it's
like all of us are all going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And you know, I keep going back and listening to certain things like, well, of course, the Proctor thing. And now that his family or whomever, the pretenders that are coming out and saying, Oh, my poor husband. Oh, woe with him. You must believe him. He did nothing wrong. Oh, yeah, we're all going, wow, lady, are you in a new world?
Regrettable private conversations. Like, and it was funny how, like, they put out this thing in writing talking about that it was going to be revenge. Like, revenge? That's where you're coming from? A place of revenge? That's a good look, buddy. Good job.
Well, considering all the negative stuff that all the liars are saying about Turtle Boy, Karen, and anybody else that wants to get in their way.
Oh, I could barely hear you now. I don't know what happened to your audio there.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. My Bluetooth went out. But yeah, I Proctor. And it, I can't not bring myself ever to listen to Trooper Paul ever again. I can't.
Are you kidding? I was planning on going over his testimony before the trial starts just for fun. Like,
oh well,
it's great. That's one of the best courtroom scenes I've ever seen in my life. Like,
well, I
actually cross-examining him was just gold, man.
Well, I do like the part where he was like, "Well, it spoke to me." That was funny.
All of it. That's fucking great. The guy's fucking retarded, and that's the Commonwealth expert.
Yeah.
Now that's Crash Daddy.
And now they're bringing in the wannabe dog expert. I'm telling you,
guy's full of shit.
I've worked with dogs for over 20 years, and I had most of the time was working with German Shepherds. Now I'm working with different breeds, and I'm telling you, those are dog bites. That are dog bites. And when he said he measured it with Mr. O'Keefe's wrist, plastic wrist thing.
Yeah.
I mean, how fucking professional is that?
I mean, like, it's stupid. It's just fucking.
Well, yeah, it is. I know.
About this guy, and even the question of whether or not he should even be admitted is fucking stupid. Like, it's insane that he's even being allowed to testify as an expert. It doesn't even make any.
Maybe he's another Paul. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe it's another Paul. I did see in your chat someone said that they saw one of his when he was in court somewhere else, and he looked like an idiot and sounded like one too. So maybe we'll just have another enjoyable Paul.
Right.
Like Paul 2.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'm sure that's what's going to happen. It's just the fact that Karen Reed has to go through it, is what sucks. But
that poor lady.
I mean, there's no way that Brennan is going to be able to convince a jury that's not fucked with. That's a
liar. He is a twisted weasel, and he just knows how to twist shit around. I mean, I've known people like that. I've worked in various places, and I'm telling you, there are the reason they got him because he knows how to lie and twist shit around and make it sound. He's sitting there accusing the defense of all this crap right in front of the world. He knows he's in front of the world. It just, he just makes me so angry. But, I can't be physical. I can only talk about it because we have to use our words.
No, this isn't. This isn't the cupcake chat. This is the Glare chat. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
I know, that's why I get this. That's why I'm cussing.
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want here. It's all good.
I know, but thank you very much. I appreciate you listening to my little rant. And now I'll have to go talk to my dog. But she's used to me.
Good. Don't yell at the dog.
Oh no, she's my little girl. I got her from a rescue from the town that I moved to. Yeah, she's a rescue. She has Labrador, Pit Bull, And what else is it? Oh God, it's a big dog. Cane Corso. Can you believe that? What a mixture.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm a trainer, so I know. I've had her since she was 3 months old, and now all of a sudden she's starting to bring that cane Corso part out, where the stubborn part. And I told her, all I wanted her to do, she was at my door. I wanted her to come back, for the healing thing. And she looked at me like, "Yeah, right, bitch, make me." She gave me that look, and I went, "Yo, I'm in trouble." So I went up to her, put her lead on, thought, let's just go. But, I love my dog. She's so cool.
Cool.
But thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Kathy.
You have a great day, y'all.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Denise H., thank you so much. I'm an educator. We are in an educational crisis here in the United States and have been for a while. This is why I fear the whole jury process. Great point. I was actually thinking about that, like in the shower the other day. I was just like, Jesus Christ, like, what's that going to mean? What's the education crisis going to mean for juries in the future? Like, I think about stupid shit like that.
Call from.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who am I talking
How are you
to?
doing? This is Bill.
Bill, what's up, Bill?
Bill, what's up, Bill?
You gotta turn down the echo in the background, homie.
I just turned it down. Is that better?
Yes. No.
Yeah.
No, I can still hear my echo.
Weird. I'm talking to you on Bluetooth, but I've got you completely turned down.
Okay. Are you talking to me on a Bluetooth in your car where there's a speaker?
There's no speaker playing audio. The only audio is the Bluetooth in my ear.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, but there's an echo and it sucks. I'm sorry, dude.
Sorry, dude. I'll try to call you back.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome.
Later. Yeah, that's too distracting because then I hear myself repeat and then I'm like, and then I can't talk and I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say. I can't listen to him. It's too distracting. Can't do it. Well, rightfully so. I get it. I mean, we're all nervous for her because look at we're seeing that the Commonwealth is capable of anything, and the judge is enabling it.
Call from.
Brittany.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, well, it's Britt.
Britt, what's up? Britt Happens?
Hey, yes. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Super duper. I only have a minute, but there's one quick thing I wanted to share with your viewers about Miss McKinney. She did a live on TikTok last night, and unfortunately, those don't save anywhere. There's no way to go back. So unless you're like screen recording the whole thing, you're fucked, right? So her main issue primarily that she keeps going back to is that nobody in the house who was coming and going all around the time of the incident, nobody saw a body, right?
Right.
So what she said last night was fantastic, and I wish I had recorded it, but she said, I have a home in Michigan. It snows plenty there too. And we had a little tiny toy out in the yard one time where, between the hours of like 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. it snowed. And I still was able to see that like 3 square inch toy out in the yard from my front porch in the snow. So I think she's going to be really cool to keep watching. I think we'll all kind of keep her coming.
Yeah. I'm
enjoying like going, through like all her different phases with her and like reliving the grief almost.
Yeah. In almost a morbid way, I'm really enjoying reliving vicariously through her
Yes.
my own reactions to the first trial, which is really cool.
Well, and it's like you say, anytime that someone like you or me has either a lawyer or somebody who sees this kind of stuff with regularity saying, no, what you're feeling is absolutely correct. This is wrong. This is not normal. Or at least it shouldn't be normal. You know, it's extremely validating.
Right.
But anyway, I got to get back to work, but I just wanted to share that with your viewers, especially since there's no way to go back and post that.
Yeah, no, that's great because I mean, I love that. I love that because it sucks because even I'm not much on TikTok.
Mhm.
I know that with Instagram, when you go live, you can at least save it if you want to, or you could discard it. But maybe TikTok does TikTok just automatically? It doesn't give you the option to save it.
Well, it does not give the viewers the option to save it. The creator has the option to save it for themselves if they want to go back and post it later.
But it doesn't post on there automatically.
Right. And it doesn't automatically bring up that option for you. So it's something you have to go back in and seek out.
Right.
It's not very user friendly. So, and on TikTok, she's got, you know, I think a couple thousand followers as of right now. And her views prior to her Karen Reed journey have been lower. So I don't think she started creating a ton of this type of content that had all this viewership before now.
Yeah, and I don't think she's doing it for the viewership, you know?
No,
Like,
I don't think she is either.
I think she's a lawyer who just happens to be watching the craziest fucking trial ever and is reacting to it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to document it. But anyway, all that to say, I don't know that she even knows that she can save her lives on TikTok if she wants to. It's not easy to do unless you have a lot of experience doing it.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're a content creator or
fuck
something,
with TikTok,
you might know.
man. Yeah, like I've been telling myself to do TikTok videos just to broaden my platform, but I'm like, I'm never even on TikTok, you know?
Well, honestly, now you're not missing out a whole lot. It's changed a lot. I've moved over from TikTok to other platforms, and I'm not on TikTok.
That's another thing is I've noticed a lot of people started off on TikTok and then like either evolved from it or just left it behind and moved on to something else.
Yeah,
you know,
we're refugees.
Yeah.
So, well, anywho, I got to get back to it, but thanks for showing all that stuff and keep it coming.
No, yeah, and keep posting them, man. Love them. Thank you.
I will. You got it. Well, have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Make sure to subscribe to Brit Happens, y'all. Eventually, I'm going to get her on the show, like as a guest. I just haven't done that yet. You guys know how I am about that dumb shit. But yeah, I hope to get her on the show soon.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
This is Bill from Chicago.
What's up, Bill from Chicago?
I wanted to talk about this taillight video that Boozy Beauty put out the other day. Have you seen that?
No, everybody in the chat was talking about it. I haven't gone over it yet, though.
It's a crazy video. So some other guy bought the exact taillight that Karen Reed had
on YouTube or what?
Yeah, he's on YouTube, and Boozy Beauty not only shows the video and talks about it, but also gives a direct link to his video. So he takes his tail light and he smashes it apart with a hammer. But the most interesting part is, from the evidence photos, there's clear plastic that's stippled. It's got like little dimples through it.
Uh-huh.
Those are the diffuser. There's only 2 LEDs in the entire tail light.
Okay.
And with the diffuser broken, the light does not shine throughout the entire tail light. The light is only in 2 dots that are like in the upper left-hand corner. So if Karen Reed's taillight would have been broken, they picked up those dimpled pieces at the scene where they say that Karen hit John. So if those would have broke when Karen hit John, every video that shows her tail light lit up is false. Her tail light would not have lit up like that. So
Okay.
it literally proves that the tail light had to be further broken in police custody after the original crack.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to go over it actually. Yeah, let me just do that. I'll just go over it before I end this live. And then we'll discuss it.
It's a great video. Yeah, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
All right, Bill. Thanks for calling, buddy. Appreciate it, man.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
You have a great day.
If you are like me and have been following the Karen Reed trial, we've been hearing a lot of talk about Karen Reed's Lexus, in particular her taillight.
I don't think I'm going to be able to smash it out.
I remember seeing this.
And this evening, a video was sent to me that everyone needs to see.
How thick?
Yeah, I watched this original video that Boozy Beauty's going over, but we'll watch it.
This thing is.
We have heard a lot of discussion on how it's physically impossible for a body, specifically an arm, to do that much damage to a taillight. We've heard from federal experts. We've heard from doctors. We've heard from biomechanics. We've heard just from content creators like myself that there is no physical possible way that John O'Keefe's arm did this damage to Karen Reed's vehicle. And now we have visual proof. If you have been confused about the taillight and how it is impossible that his arm did that damage, this is the video for you. Any of my neurodivergent friends, anyone that are visual learners.
Now, the only thing I can think of, right? Now, let's just say that this flies, right? Now, we're going to watch the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. We're going to watch the whole thing, but let's just say that this flies, right? It'll be interesting because, Kate, I'm going to time you the fuck out if you keep spamming my chat. You're annoying the shit out of me right now. Let's just say that this holds up, right? The defense presents this. And what would the prosecution say? I feel like the prosecution would say something like, all right, well, no, John O'Keefe's arm wouldn't cause that damage to the taillight. We're not saying that it would. That's preposterous, Your Honor. But, I mean, the piece of the taillight that broke off landed in the road. So cars ran over it, right? And broke it. But right there, wouldn't that make the taillight evidence inadmissible? No good. Void. Shit. Nothing. Because how can you prove once it's broken, it's destroyed? That evidence is destroyed. How can you prove that scientifically John O'Keefe's elbow or part of his arm broke the taillight? You can't prove that he just cracked it and then a car ran over it. You can't. I mean, we're supposed to just take your word. So if this flies, this is actually really good evidence for the defense.
This is your video. Buckle up because this is undeniable.
Lexus LX 570 from a 2021.
First and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to this YouTube creator by the name BN Trouble 31. He bought an exact OEM, that is original taillight, the exact same one that was on Karen Reed's vehicle, and broke it to fucking pieces. If you are interested in seeing the entire video, because I don't want to post the entire thing, I will post it in the comments, in the description, etc. Wherever you're watching this video, you can go watch this video yourself. I also want to give a quick call back to David McIntyre's notes that he did quite a while ago when he broke a lot of this down. But for people like me, I need visuals, and these pictures weren't enough. It was too much reading, and I couldn't.
Yeah. See, the thing is I watched this original video and I had thoughts on it, but we'll see if maybe I missed something. Let's see if Boozy Beauty points something out that I missed, because I have thoughts that I was just like, okay, that doesn't really prove anything, but we'll get through it.
Fully comprehend, but now I fully comprehend.
These taillights are extremely thick.
Right. Yeah, shit is impossible to fucking
Other
break.
than just speaking about the force that it takes to break the simple first layer of polycarbonate that you see, I also want to break down just how thick these pieces are. This is something that we heard quite a bit about in trial when it came to Alan Jackson.
Now, remember when I had that piece of tail light? I don't know what I did with it, but I had that piece of tail light and I like held it up to the camera and I tried to break it. I did everything I could. It was a little piece like this big, and I was just doing everything I could to break it in half, and I couldn't. I got a real idea from finding that little piece of tail light in the road on my way back from the gym and realizing like, no, I just don't see how a bone could break that.
And crossing all of these officers that found these pieces. But it really just goes to show, when you see the visual representation sidewise of how thick this polycarbonate is, and just that in itself is impossible to get broken by an arm.
If you just pull it off, that's how you get the big piece.
But it gets worse from there. Going back to this image right here from David McIntyre's report, I want to specifically talk about the corner of chrome divider that is broken off, and then how the corner chrome divider is laying in the bottom of the taillight.
I can't even break this chrome piece off there. That is so strong. That thing is thick. I can't even break it. There's no possible way an arm did that. Especially breaking that chrome centerpiece.
That chrome divider is this guy right here. And you can see it's supposed to cross right there, and it snapped off and it fell right here. Flesh wouldn't break that. Let's also talk about the clear plastic diffusers and how they were broken. And then there was literally a full piece of the diffuser missing.
That's all broken out right there. That's broken. When I move the diffuser, watch the light move. Now the light's gone because there is no bulbs back there. The only thing that makes the lights go down the taillight are these plastic pieces that have the bubble.
First off, we can talk about how difficult it was to physically break the clear diffuser, which, by the way, it goes polycarbonate a chrome divider, and then the diffuser piece, which means John's arm would have had to not only gone through thick polycarbonate, it would have also had to gone through a chrome divider and then into the clear diffuser, which, by the way, the clear diffuser is also thick like the polycarbonate. It just doesn't break. It's not like a thin piece of glass. And then the kicker is the LEDs.
Now, I am officially now of the opinion that the officers, and I use that term loosely, in the Sallyport who were smashing and removing Karen Reed's taillight were on meth. Like, I'm convinced of it. Like, that's some meth head shit. That's some meth head shit. Dude, look, man, I'm trying to tell you, you got to break off the chrome piece, because how are you going to explain the scratches on his arm, dude? You got to break the chrome piece off too, bro. Can't just be the plastic. Nobody's ever going to fucking believe that, dude. It's got to be the chrome piece too. The chrome is the scratcher. It's the scratcher, dude. I'm trying to tell you. It's the only thing I can imagine happening in that Sallyport video when they're doing that shit. Like, you ever get stuck in a situation like that where you're just looking at fucking people high on some hardcore fucking stimulant and you're not? And you're like, dude, what in the fuck are these people talking about? What are they doing? Trust me, you don't want to be in that situation, but it's enlightening. Don't get me wrong. Heather Target, thank you so much. While walking, my left arm was hit by a Ford Bronco mirror. They were traveling 50 miles per hour. I was not knocked down. My arm was not broken. My arm was not cut up. It was bruised from shoulder to elbow. Yeah, but also you got to take into consideration, Heather, that unless that car was going in reverse, that mirror is going to have some give. Like it's on a swivel, so you can adjust the mirror, right? So that mirror probably went bink as it hit you and turned. So it's not exactly the same thing. I get it, what you're saying, but I always have to play devil's advocate when it comes to these things. And I'm going to play devil's advocate with this video too. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Without that, the light does not go down the taillight.
You see, the clear diffuser literally does that. It diffuses the LEDs. So without that diffuser, I'll show in the video, but you can only see right where the LEDs are. So what's going to happen is...
Exactly, bro. Have you ever fucking... Dude, that is a horrible sight, bro. It's to see a bunch of grown-ups crawling all over a fucking floor and a carpet, picking up anything, thinking it's something they can smoke. Like, it is the fucking most disturbing, one of the most disturbing sights you'll ever see. Like, if you're on the cusp of addiction, that sight is enough to make you go, I'm not doing this shit no more. This shit's I'm not doing this shit no more. This is fucking gross. Like, you don't want to see that shit. Trust me.
Is that light, that LED light bulb, then gets diffused down the entire taillight.
You know what? I'll snake this diffuser back in there and the light will follow it down.
And by the way, they call it a party too. And it's like, wow, this is some party. Wow, you guys look great.
Toward the end of it's broken off. Look, either
that would mean that pieces that look like this would look like this, because like I stated, the clear diffuser piece feeds the LED lights down the tail light. So without that actual plastic piece, the LEDs don't have anywhere to go. So they just go like a normal light bulb. Her tail light that had everything filtered through light-wise, instead of being filled with light, it would have had dots. So what you would have seen is you would have still seen this little piece right here. But all of this, it would have been two simple little dots right there. None of that would have been filled with light. None of it. Because there's no diffuser to have that light going down.
Huh.
If that light was broken in John's driveway, there would be no light going down the taillight whatsoever, and it sure would not be white.
Going back to Joe Flipperhead's graphic for a second.
See, that I agree with. That I find that to be pretty indisputable.
The LEDs in the taillight is actually red.
See what color it lights up as. All the red is gone. There's no red on this taillight anymore. Even the side marker light.
The thing is, my problem with this though is that it still looks red. You know what I mean? That's my problem. Is it still looks fucking red to me? How does that not look red?
On this taillight anymore. Even the side marker light is so bright that it looks white. As you can clearly see, it's red. All the lights are red.
Okay.
That's the brake light. They're just so bright red. They're clearly red.
So the
Okay, so it is red.
polycarbonate is just kind of like a filter. So the LEDs themselves are red. So there's a red LED, a clear diffuser, a chrome piece that goes around the diffuser, and then like the filtered red polycarbonate.
The red is almost a translucent red.
So when you hear Hank Brennan over and over again talking about white light this, white light that,
Okay.
guess the
Yeah, I got confused. Okay.
fuck what? None of the light would have been white because the LEDs in a Lexus SUV taillight are fucking red. They're red. Period.
Okay, so yeah, I get it now. So they're saying that the red piece wouldn't make it, like the red piece missing wouldn't make the light white, that the LED lights themselves are actually red. So that does make sense. So the LED lights themselves are actually red. So why would the lights be white? But explain why you know what I'm saying? Like, why would the lights be white?
I'll take the diffuser part out of it and the light disappears. It's because all the light is up at the top and it shines down on that clear piece and the bubbles makes it reflect.
In conclusion, if we're looking at the taillight as they said it was after she quote unquote hit John O'Keefe,
Right.
what we would have seen is this. This diffuser right here is missing. That means no light is filtering through here. So LED only right here, right there. Then what we're talking about is broken chrome that's going crooked. It's not going down straight like it's supposed to. So that means this chrome right here would have been blocking the LED right here. Okay. Are you following through yet? The damage
I think
from
so.
this evidence, this tail light, simply, physically, impossibly does not match this tail light.
This is what the tail light would have looked like with the plastic pieces that they showed on in the trial that would have been missing from the tail light. There would have only been two small lights coming from the top.
Karen Reed did not do that to her tail light.
I got it.
See the
Thank you,
white light
Olivia.
shine.
You're right.
Scott, you can see it clearly missing. You can't plant something that's already gone. And the reason why you see white, it is a red taillight cover, and when the red is missing or gone, as it is in this case, the white bulb still shines. And that
Karen Reed's Lexus did not hit John O'Keefe, and it only took one person, one tail light, one hammer to disprove an entire fucking trial that frankly shouldn't even be going on right now.
Oh my
Free
God.
Karen Reed.
Okay. Wow, she's mad. Okay, Boozy Beauty. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So like, yeah, that makes sense now. I got it. So like but I mean, yeah, when I'm watching that, I'm like thinking like, well, you know, that's why the ARCA experts, that's why the feds hired the ARCA guys, because you can't sit here and go, look, a hammer, that's what it takes. You know, like you actually have to hire a biomechanical expert as to how someone's body might break a taillight, or hire another expert as to how a taillight might break on someone's body. Hence the ARCA experts. But yeah, he was saying that part is white, but that part was white. That's the thing. That's what bothers me, is that part was white when he pointed it out. So that's my issue. Now, we also saw the AI app that opened up while they were showing this to the judge. So I don't know. But right, the video was altered, right? Yeah, like that's what I was at first when I was watching this guy's original video. I was like, this guy can't, like, you're trying to prove that John's arm wouldn't have caused that. Like, the only way to do that is if you take a body and speed it up at the time that they, and do the whole how many miles per hour, how many feet, blah blah blah. You have to do all that shit to get an accurate. So I just dismissed it immediately. Olivia says, so I can explain why it's appearing that way. It's because the corner and side portion of the light has reflective strips underneath the side marker light, which will appear white when on a ring cam. When on a ring cam? Okay. So that means that the defense is going to have to point that out. But the thing is I've heard in the rumor mill that the defense has a whole lot of experts lined up for this case. So hopefully they have experts that are going to disprove Spanky's bullshit, his smoke and mirrors tactics here. But yeah, that's the thing, is it's like I'm just not, I'm not as excited about this video as everybody else is, only because I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm trying to see how this is going to fly in court. You know what I mean? Canoni's disproportionate disdain. Thank you so much. Bullshit, fake evidence like this is why we are outraged. Agreed. Don't get me wrong. I'm mad about it because we know that Karen didn't hit John O'Keefe with her vehicle. We know that she broke her taillight or cracked it on his Traverse. We know that. It's frustrating to see like what Brennan, the bullshit he's trying to pull here. I kept yelling while he was talking. One piece missing, not 40 plus pieces. Dumb fuck. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And the defense addressed that too. Well, right. But the thing is the defense has to prove that, I mean, I'm not sure if that falls under still the burden of proof being on the prosecution, but if they're going to disprove what the prosecution presents as proof, then they're going to have to prove it themselves. If they're going to effectively do so, they're going to have to prove it themselves. So And this is why there's no metadata. I agree. Like, that's where we're at. Like, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose, you know, I don't want to take my eye off the ball here. What's going to happen is that at the end of the day, all of this stuff is a moot point when the prosecution can't provide metadata for these videos. And that being the case, Bev doesn't seem to give a fuck about metadata. She's just letting this evidence in. So again, what she's doing is enabling the railroading of Karen Reed. Not just allowing it to happen, she's enabling it. And so I am 100% still of the opinion that Judge Beverly Cannoni is dirty as fuck. Well, that's what's happening here is that Judge Beverly Cannoni is systematically putting the burden of proof on the defense, which is crazy. Yes, and thank you for your explanations, Olivia. I appreciate it. You see, I understand I can easily get lost in the weeds, but the truth is the design of the taillight is incredibly unique and complex. And I've studied that shit like crazy. I don't doubt that you have. I don't doubt that you have. And I get it. And I'm grateful that people are that interested. Because it definitely helps with you know, the public understanding things a little bit better. It's so important. Olivia's shit on Twitter is just fucking amazing. Cannoni's disproportionate disdain. This shit is why Brennan was retained. He's slimy. I completely agree. This is exactly why Brennan was retained. They have no case against Karen Reed, so they hired a fucking mob lawyer to fucking confuse the jury. That's it. Bev's rubber stamp. Thank you so much. How can any of this be entered? The judge on February 2nd, 2022 ordered all video be saved with all metadata. Well, the word metadata wasn't specified in that order, I don't think, but all the evidence was to be preserved. That would have included the metadata. All the evidence should have been preserved by that judge's order, and it wasn't. And Judge Beverly Cannoni did nothing to enforce this order. What's up, baby boy? I know we're almost done. We're almost done. I love you. Oh, you're a good boy. Yeah, they did nothing to preserve this evidence, and Judge Beverly Cannoni did nothing to enforce and ensure that this evidence was preserved, even though there was an order. There was a motion filed by David Unetti. Oh, there it is. The defense requested and granted a court order on October 5th, 2022 for the Commonwealth to preserve all metadata for videos and photos, which also proves it doubles down on Hank Brennan being a fucking liar. When Hank Brennan said that there was no motion filed to preserve evidence and video evidence. Well, there were two, apparently. One on February 2nd, 2022, and one on October 5th, 2022. Mike V, thank you so much. The defense, I have them start the car to view the taillight when they view the Lexus. Good point. I mean, but they removed the whole well of the taillight. So, the whole well of the taillight's missing. Yes, Hank Brennan is a fucking liar. Absolutely. But I think I'm going to wrap this one up, folks. I got some stuff I got to take care of today, but nice change of pace to do one in the afternoon. I'm so glad to get to hang out with you guys. And a big shout out again to Nan Gallagher for, you know, her generosity, of course, but it's not necessary. Her insight is what I wanted to thank her for. I'm always grateful for her insight and adding her insight to the chat, as well as Olivia's insight. Thank you so much for contributing all that insight to my chat. It means the world to me. But guys, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Please make sure to hit the like if you haven't already. Thank you for subscribing. If you're new subscribers, I hope you continue to enjoy the channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Make sure that you get notifications. You know when I'm going live, as well as make sure if you are already subscribed, double check, because YouTube unsubscribes people randomly for whatever reason. I have no idea why, but double check, make sure you're still subscribed, and all of the super chats and memberships and all of that stuff. You guys are absolutely incredibly fucking beyond generous, and I'm so grateful. It means the world to me. You guys are great. Thank you guys so much. I'm not sure if I'll go live again later today. Maybe I will. I don't know. It depends on what happens. The day's still young. But anyways, I love you guys very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.